this is my favorite. It's just like a clothing tape measure, but watch, ready? Oh my god, I love it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Blake, aka Posh Boss Blake, and welcome back to my channel. Yeah. Today, I'm coming at you with a measuring video. I have some tops to list, and they need measurements because that is what I include in my listings. I'll dive into that in a little bit, but this is just gonna be like a nice chat. You know, feel free to put me on in the background while I talk about my the things that I'm measuring and kind of like giving some tips on. So if you want to stay tuned for that, keep watching the video. And quickly, thank you to all my returning subscribers. I know some of you are new and I am so appreciative of that. So thank you, welcome. If you have not subscribed yet, think about it and make sure everyone you give that thumbs up a hit that thumbs up button, hit the button. Smash that thumbs up. So let's just get right into it. I'm actually on the floor, so the angle is not going to be the best, but I want to show you my measuring. So I'm just going to push you back a little bit. There we go. Oh, also, can we talk about my fun socks? I was like, I'm gonna be on the ground and my feet are a little cold today. I have tile in the rest of my apartment, aside from this rug, but it's chilly. It's a little chilly. It's damp here in LA. It's been raining. So I got these fun, well, I have them. I have a whole bunch of fun socks. Like, so fun, you know, and this is not supposed to coordinate, but that's the beauty of staying at home. Stay at home. We're not stuck at home. I almost went into like a Little Mermaid moment, so we won't do that. But let's push you back. There we go. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Actually, I know someone wanted to know about how I ship, so I just have a package that is ready to go out today because I just made this sale. Yay for sales. Thumbs up for sales. This sold on Poshmark for 20 bucks. It's a pair of velvet, I'm not gonna take it fully out, but it's a pair of velvet jeans from 7 for All Mankind. These took a while to sell and they're beautiful, they're like new, but finally someone bought them and I took it. And I have one of my thank you cards available at poshbossblake.com that I have ready to go. So all that I'm gonna do is pop this in here, right? I don't have the sticker with me now, but I'll stick this because the sticky has worn off because this is a reused clear poly. But I will attach it with a thank you note so you can see it, and then I'll slide it in the flat rate envelope. Or I should say it's a padded flat rate, but as long as it's priority, regional priority, or any box, you're fine. On Poshmark anyway. And then I have my label printed on a priority mail label, and that will just go right on here with a little thank you sticker on the outside, and then that is ready to ship out to the person who bought it. And because I'm filming on my phone, which is where I normally type everything out for measurements, I've got a note up on my laptop, and I've got everything labeled accordingly, so we're gonna get to measuring. I know in general I feel like people are split 50-50 with measurements. Like, should I do them, should I not? Listen, I put the measurements because in my experience, people have gotten their items and maybe not been satisfied is not the right word. They may think it was one thing, or maybe it was washed, maybe, you know, whatever the case may be. Like maybe it is a size 4, but it was washed and dried, but it still says a size 4. I like to put in the measurements so people reference and know everything ahead of time before they purchase. I know not everyone reads as a buyer, but I can only control what I as a seller can do. And if putting in measurements is something that will help me in the future, like with not getting returns or something, I will do that. Because also people want to know, like, especially if something's not brand new with tags, like me personally, I need to know the measurements because I know what I'm buying, and I know that if I dry stuff, sometimes shirts shrink up. So it's not necessarily a size thing, it's that they shrink up. Like this, I can never put in the dryer because this fun shirt would shrink and be like a crop top. And like, we're not trying to do that, especially with this fun shirt. Although maybe it would look good, but what I like to do for tops, and this is the only long sleeve top, it's a Lululemon Swiftly, I think it's called a Swiftly Tuck. And this was in a haul from a while ago. I just needed to wash it because there was like a stain. But this is a size 4, so that's funny. What I like to do is measure on long sleeves, underarm to underarm, always. That's like the #1 measurement that specifically women, and I guess everyone just wants to know, but particularly women because the bust area. So if something has shrunk or something, they want to make sure that it can accommodate. Or particularly with button front shirts for women, they want to make sure there's enough space because you know how it pulls sometimes and you can see into the shirt if something's like a little too snug. We want to make sure that you're protected and not giving any free shows. So that's why I like to put the measurements. But so for this Swiftly top, we're gonna do armpit to armpit, and can you even see that? Let me see. Sorry, this is a weird angle, but I'm trying to accommodate you guys. There we go. Okay, so I've got the armpit to armpit, and I'm using a flexible tape measurer. This is something free that I got that I love, so I just use that. But I just do right from seam to seam, and this is 13.5 inches, so I'm just gonna document that in my computer, and 13.5 inches. And to signify, I don't type the word inches, I just do the quotation mark to signify it because it's less words and people generally understand that. I've never had an issue with someone being like, you didn't say inches. It's like a universal sign that inches is the quote and then apostrophe is feet. So I never have to do that, but so that's the underarm. And then what I like to do also is, in shirts in general, is top of shoulder to the bottom of the shirt. And if there's a front difference than the back, like a high-low situation, I sometimes note, depending on how severe it is, the difference. Because if it's just like half an inch, I really don't, I just do one measurement. But sometimes it's like 2, 3, 4 inches of a difference, so like people want to know that. So for this is going to be 26 inches length, 26 inches. And again, for long sleeves, I do the underarm to shoulder measurement. No, excuse me, underarm to bottom of the sleeve, because people want to know how long the sleeves are. So this is 22 inches. And then that's it. That's it. So now that this has been photographed, I have the measurements. All I have to do is write a very brief listing talking about what it is and, basic description, the name of the item, etc., etc. So next we're gonna do this Lululemon. I have a couple Lululemon, Alo Yoga, and Mishi. So this is, I believe, some form of a yoga tank. I have to look up the specific type, but it's a racer back top, and it's got a little pocket in the front, which we love, right here. Oh, there we go. It's like super comfy, and this is a perfect example of having a high-low moment. So let me hang this up. As you can see, right, this is how it would be kind of on. And actually, nope, this doesn't have a high-low moment. These match up pretty much the same. So I don't need to do that. But of course, we're gonna lay this flat. And something that I note when I call out the measurements, I do my description, enter, like space, size, like size whatever. And then if something doesn't have a tag, like this doesn't have a tag, there's no size dot. So I'm going to reference other listings in Poshmark that have the measurements so I can kind of gauge. I think this is probably gonna be like a 4, a 2 or a 4. So I will just coordinate with, my independent research and say, size 4, parentheses, see measurements below, size tag removed. As most Lululemon size tags are removed these days, for comfort, of course, but I think that's important to know. And then I'll say measurements, rough measurements when flat, because I want people to know how I'm measuring, because hanging it up on a hanger is not going to be the same as when it's flat. I don't know. Flat seems to be the most accurate measurement, but underarm to underarm is 14.5 inches. We love that. 14.5 inches. And then we will do top of shoulder to bottom, which, again, I say rough when I'm doing these because there is, there might be a little bit of variation, and I think people know that. And actually, as I'm laying this flat, this is a perfect example. Can you see the front and the back? There is a difference. There is a little high-low moment, and it looks to be about 1 to 2 inches. So I'm gonna note that. So top of shoulder to bottom of shirt. And when I say the bottom, I do the lowest point. So as you saw, there was like a curve to it. I wouldn't put the highest part of that curve because the shirt is longer than that. So I go with the longest measurement. So top of shoulder to bottom of shirt is 27 in the back, 25 in the front. So that's what I will say. 27 in the back, 25 front, 27 inches back. Great. And then that's it. Sometimes, depending on the shirt, not necessarily with a workout shirt because it's flowy so people understand how that drapes, for things like skirts or something that's very tailored, like in at the waist, out at the hip, I will do underarm, midsection, bottom of whatever it is, or thighs or hips, because those measurements really do, people need to know that, because if there's a crazy taper on an item, that might not fit every body. Every body or everybody. So, you know, people want to know that. So here's a black tank. It's the same style, same size as the gray one, which is nice. I think I'm going to sell these as a bundle, actually. Not bundling within the app. I think I want to sell them as a 2-pack, because if you're wearing black, you're probably going to wear gray and vice versa. So that's exciting. That's good for me. We can make a bigger sale that way. Save them some money. And then, so this one is 25 in the front, 26.75 in the back. So 25 in the front, 25 in the front, 26.75 back. So as you can see, like, there is a slight difference. It's a 1/4 of an inch, but you know, people would want to know that, just in case. It's probably not going to be an issue, but it's good to know for the buyer. So we'll do the underarm measurement. Also, sorry, this is like not the flattering angles that I'm looking for. This seems to be a little bigger. Hold on. I'm spending a little bit too much time, but I'm also setting this up to do this for you guys is a little different than normal for me. So, okay, 0. This is 14.75. So that's interesting. 14.75 inches. So this was off. This was slightly different. The gray one was 14.5 inches underarm. This one was 14.75. And then the length of the gray was 27, but the length of the black was 26.75. That's funny. It's funny. Things are not perfect. Things do not measure, wash, come out dry the same way. So it's always important to do that. And then this, oh my gosh, this is a fun aloe tank. I can't seem to find it, like the style name. I don't think it's super current anymore, but that might make it more desirable. But it's got like a mesh ribbing, as you can see. Like, it's so cool. So this is, oh gosh, this is something I would want to get the measurements right on, because this does not have a size tag. And because I can't maybe find this exact tank online, people are going to want to know. They're going to want to know how it fits. People do ask from time to time on all my things, shoes, pants, everything. Is this true to size? That is not something I personally, like as a buyer, I don't ever pay attention to that, because I have to try it for myself. Specifically with shoes and tops. Actually, just everything. Every brand is so different that I feel like when people are shopping for these brands on Poshmark or eBay, like secondhand or places to get a discount instead of paying full price, they hopefully know the sizing, the true to size thing, true to what size? And I don't mean that negatively. It's just like, there's so many brands. Like a 2 in Old Navy definitely does not fit like a 2 in Lululemon, you know? So, yeah. It also depends. So this is 15 inches. This is 15 inches across. So this is just about 25 inches in length. And the best part about tops is, or tanks in particular, is it's just 2 measurements. Like that's nice and easy. We love that. Okay, so next we have this Alo. Oh my God, I always do that. Oh no, Alo, yeah. Alo, like, it's not a net, but it's like a cool, I guess it's a net. The other one that I have coming up is a net, but this is more, it's like bigger. It reminds me of the orange construction, like the temporary fences. It's kind of similar vibe. But this one, this is beautiful. None of these, that's a lie. Most of the Lululemon tanks, the Alo tanks don't have any sizing, so that's why this measuring is important. Which sometimes I also let them sit because measuring takes time. So this is 15.5 inches. And yeah, and most of this is from consignment from someone in my life, and generally the sizing, is the same. So there were some things that didn't have a size tag from the Alo brand, but you know, a few of them did, and I just gathered they were all the same size, which they were. So that's that. Okay, a little rambly today, but hope you guys are learning or appreciating. So this is 25 inches. So as you see, like I was just saying, this is from the same person. So for the most part, the measurements are kind of the same, which is nice because maybe someone will bundle them and I can sell them all together. So this is a Mishi. I'll link this consignment haul up top here. This is a Mishi. The front is like a fabric, and then the back is fully like a mesh net. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. You can't tell until I do this. It's so awesome. And there is a similar matching gray and black leggings in my closet from this brand. So feel free to check that out. But this is a little stretchy. So something to know when measuring things, especially when laying them flat, like do your best not to, once it's on the ground, don't pull too much, because if something is stretchy and like maybe you're measuring it stretched out, the person's gonna get it and be like, this is bigger, or I thought, you know, this was the starting point and then there was some additional stretch going on. But you never want to run into that situation. Let's see. So this is about 15.5. So that's good. 15.5 inches. And then we will do something like this. This has 2 different types of fabrics, so it's constantly draping differently. I can't tell where the stretch is coming, like if it's from the mesh or if it's from, yeah, it's from the front, which is nice because you have some flexibility here. So top of shoulder to bottom is about 27 inches in the back. And then the front, I should have measured it well, is 24.5. So that's like it's like a high-low moment. Front. Okay, and look at that. Look at that. Everything is measured. Yes. So now everything's also folded. So I can just put this in my waiting to sell bin and we can get this listed. So this is my favorite. It's just like a clothing tape measure, but watch, ready? Oh my God, I love it. So come closer, come closer. Let's talk, let's talk. Hi. So, okay. Hi. Listing. Today is, I don't know if I said this earlier, today is the Love It or List It challenge, I say that loosely, on Poshmark. And when that happens, you have the chance to like win Posh credit or something. Let me actually go to the website now just to confirm what you could win, because that is, I mean, I'm constantly always trying to win these things. So you could win one of three $50 prizes hourly or a grand prize of $500. I don't know anyone who's ever won the grand prizes from these, whether it's Love It or List It, Make an Offer, Closet Clear Out, all these things. But I would love to know who's won the grand prizes. And also, I think, feel free to leave a comment if you've won. I would love to know your experience. I think there's also like a time frame. Like if you win the $50 prize, I think it comes in the form of credit, and I think you have to use it within like the month. Is that I think that's there's a time limit on it. So like I said, if you've won, leave a comment down below because I would love to know what the rule or stipulation is. And yeah, just so I can know for the future. I'm also gonna try to space them out today so that every hour I can get a listing or two up. I have a couple more things to list, but I have to photograph them first. So I will try to space those out throughout the day and maximize my drawing entries, so to speak. Every listing's a new entry, and that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed measuring with me. I hope this was a little bit informative, just so you know like how I go about doing this. I measure pants. I guess we could talk about pants real quick. I measure pants from the waist, inseam, leg opening, and also depending on the style, I do the front rise, which is from the seam of the crotch area to the top of the waist. And I do the front rise in particular because that's a good indicator of how high-waisted something is. If anything is under 9 inches, then it technically wouldn't categorize as high-waisted. I believe high-waisted is between 9 and 11 inches up. So like 11 is probably hitting at or above your belly button, depending on how the fit of your jean is. And I never do the back rise because that isn't a good indicator. Depending on the brand, like a good American brand might be a higher rise in the back to accommodate for a more bootylicious person, because you know that's kind of, they're known for like a good fit on people who have, you know, curves and swerves, regardless of size. Like it's good for, you know, your derriere. So that's good. And pants, what else? Jackets. I'm trying to think of like what I put the most measurements on. Probably tops, because people have so many measurements. Like they want to know length, they want to know if it's the bust. For guys, they might want to know how long the sleeve is. You know, especially with dress shirts for guys, what's the length? Especially if there's not a tag, because sometimes, again, in the dry cleaning process, things shrink a little bit, or maybe things have been tailored if you've got thrifted items and you want to make sure that you're giving an accurate size. Like that's happened to me. There was I actually sent it to the RealReal. There was a pair of Rag & Bone tailored, what are they, wide leg jeans, and I think they actually got purchased. We'll see. I don't like to comment on that though because it takes a while, just in case they return it. But they were tailored and I was like, I don't know, I don't think these are right. And I tried to sell them myself, but the length was odd. But someone found them on the RealReal, so, you know, regardless of my measurements, someone found them. The RealReal had the measurements too, but that market is a little different than Poshmark. So it's always good to diversify your platforms, okay? So with that being said, thank you goes. Losing my mind. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and stay tuned for this is gonna come out Thursday. Stay tuned for Friday. I'm gonna do another lunch with me, and we can have lunch. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Thanks so much for tuning in. All my socials down below are all Posh Boss Blake, and don't forget to check out my website, poshbossblake.com, where you can get your custom thank you note card.